Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? How y'all doing? So today is Thankful Thursday. Lord willing, tomorrow is my birthday, 7-11. So Slurpees is on me for everybody. But what I'm thankful for today is that, just my gratitude. And I was listening to something and it was saying how when you have gratitude, you can find the God in everything. When you have gratitude, you can find the God in everything. And this year of my life, there was so many ups and downs and things that I didn't foresee, right? Or that I foresaw, but I thought it would go a certain way, right? And in those moments, I had my human experiences where I sat back a lot of times and I was just like, God, why me? Why am I going through all of this, right? And, when I lost my grandfather, in March, he had dementia. So, leading up into that point, there was things that the doctors were saying. And, my grandmother would come to me sometimes in the middle of the night. She would call me and she would be crying. And I would tell her like, nah, it's going to be all right. This is this type of stuff that we pray for. You know what I'm saying? You've been praying your whole life. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of thing that we've been praying for. But I would hang up the phone and I would find myself grasping at straws sometime, right? Because I'm like, I loved her to life and her hurting hurted me. But I had to be strong in the face of her. So a lot of times I would hang up that phone and I would just be like, man, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't know what to do. I knew I had to be strong. I knew the inevitable of what was going to happen. But I was just like, Lord, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, you see, had it been 5 years ago, I probably would have lost my mind. But the way that God maneuvers things in your life, I was able to stand 10 toes down and make sure she was all right. And in the course of that, I didn't lose my mind. Then we fast forwarded to, my grandmother passing. And, when she was in the hospital, she would always call for me. And, I would talk to her and, towards the end, she would just tell me all the time, Lil Rodney, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I love you to the end. Or she would say, I'm going to see you in heaven. And I used to tell her, don't you say, don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't say that type of stuff, right? But that was the selfish part of me because I wanted her here for eternity. You know what I'm saying? As long as I was around, and that was selfish of me, right? Because I knew that her being on this earth without her husband, it was painful for her. But the selfish part of me wanted her to stay, right? So even in that moment, I came to the realization that, you know what? God loved her more and God needed her more. And I stood 10 toes down and I didn't lose my mind. Now, everything that happened after she passed, you know what I'm saying? Those that know, know. You know what I'm saying? Those that know, know. You know what I'm saying? But even then, I was going through so many things, still going through so many things. And I was just like, God, why? But in those moments, that's when gratitude kicked in. You see, sometimes when you don't have gratitude, you can't see the God in things. And, during the course of these last couple of months, sometimes I would wake up and I would go down, stairs to my kitchen and I would open the refrigerator and I'd be like, man, I'm so hungry. I don't know what to eat. But I had a refrigerator full of food. What I started doing is just thanking God. I thank God that I got the option. When, I would, wake my youngest son up to go to school, right? And I'd be like, hey, go ahead, get up, whatever. Then I would come back. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I don't know what to wear. In those moments, I started thanking God that, he got options. He literally has options. You know what I'm saying? And so what I started thinking about and what I was thinking about while I was at the gym today was, you know what? A lot of times when things go right, we thank God. And when things go wrong, we blame the devil. But let me tell you how that's kind of skewed sometimes. See, if I received everything that I wanted in life, I would not be where I'm at today. Because those no's many times was God's protection. And those yeses was the devil putting me in a situation that I wasn't ready for. Think about your jobs, right? You pray for a job, right? But you're currently at a job that you prayed for, right? But you praying for a job and you're like, man, I just want this other job because it makes more money. It makes more money. It's blah, 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 this, that, and other, right? Then guess what? You get that job. Now you're making more money and you have no time. You see, that other job, you might not have made as much money, but you had time for family. You had time for friends. When you wanted to take off, you were able to take off. But because you didn't have gratitude, you couldn't find the God in that situation. So as you're looking at everybody else and you're like, man, they got a better job, this, that, and the other, and you're praying and praying for another job, God is telling you, listen, I gave you what you prayed for, but you couldn't find the gratitude. So you take this other job that's making way more money and you're miserable. Now, you know what I'm saying? You getting home after 6 and now you got to wake back up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? You making more money, but guess what? You can't get no overtime because you're a salaried worker. All of these things because you didn't have gratitude. A lot of times, you know, we be saying that we want peace and you know, man, God just grant me peace. And these friends start falling off by the wayside. They start falling off by the wayside. And here you go trying to catch all of them. Come back, come back. But you prayed for peace. So God starts subtracting. So as you start trying to get these friends back, right? The devil is busy, right? So he allows them to come back. And now you have no peace. That relationship that you've been chasing, God has given you so many, you know what I'm saying, signs that it's time to leave, it's time to leave. But guess what you do? You stay. And then you wonder why X, Y, and Z happen. This season of my life, I've lost family members that I probably never talk to again. And for a moment in time, it hurt. It did hurt. But I even found gratitude in that. Because guess what? What God got for me is for me. And can't nobody take it away. And I have learned that I ain't got to defend myself. I let God fight my battles. There was so many lies told about me. You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time. Church hurt and family hurt is two of the most pain. You know what I'm saying? And I had all of these lies and stuff said about me. And I was trying to fight all of them. But I got to a point and I had gratitude. And I saw, okay, you know what? It ain't me subtracting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't me saying, you know what, I ain't dealing with you no more. It's you just exiting my life. That's all it is. I'm not chasing nobody. I ain't got to defend myself because those that know. And that's something that we all have to be accustomed to. You don't have to run to Facebook to defend your name. You got people that's just going to believe whatever they want to believe anyway. And you got people that really know you. Now, the key is finding out those people that's really in your corner and leave the rest alone. It's really that simple. So anyways, man, I'm going to get out y'all space, but I just want, you know what I'm saying, anybody out there to just practice gratitude. Because that car that you're going out to, you prayed for 3 years ago. And when you don't have gratitude for that, you don't make any room for the next blessing. When you prayed for certain situations in your life, when relationships, you prayed for your relationship. And because you get tired, and you get tired because you're looking at what everybody else got going on, and you looking at your partner, and you're like, why you don't do this, that, and the other, right? You're not practicing gratitude, and it's a smack in the face to God because he gave you this person. And a lot of times at the end of the day, it ain't even that person, it's you. So anyways, man, I thank y'all for always supporting me. Like I said, Lord willing, tomorrow I'm going to be 45. Y'all see all of this gray. But I thank God for the gray, because the gray bring wisdom. And if y'all knew everything that I have went through this year, you know what I'm saying? I should be grayer. But anyways, man, I love y'all. And I thank y'all for y'all support.
Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.